now we're all gonna be addicted to marijuana. Great.
Oh my god, what the marijuana is going on right now, bro? Welcome to the revolution. What did Joe Biden just do? Oh my god, the world is going to freaking end. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. I hope you guys are having a freaking fantastic day. As always, I appreciate every single one of you for joining me. Please share this with all your friends and family and let them know about the show. But before I get started, I did a little video on Matt Walsh, and his supporters were losing their minds. I don't understand. Are you guys like most other liberals that don't actually listen to videos? You just comment on things? Maybe we get back to a place where you comment on things we actually listen to instead of just looking at a title of a news story or a video or a title of a movie. I don't care. And we just calm down and actually listen. And then we come up with our own conclusions like freaking adults. But I don't know. Welcome to the internet. Anyways, let's get right into it. It's a funny thing is, because I completely agree with Matt Walsh, and I was just merely pointing out the fact that we live in a culture on the internet where people are consumed with canceling, getting rid of, owning the libs, owning these people, as opposed to actually being adults and having a conversation. And and that was seen as not aggressive enough. Oh, I'm sorry. Do I need to grow a bigger beard than Matt Walsh? Is that what's going on? My beard isn't big enough yet. The winter coat is coming, fellas. Don't you worry about that 1 second. Anyways, let's get into the real news because whatever. President Joe Biden has come out today and did the impossible. It's election season. And so now is the time to ramp up every little thing that you maybe can get a possible W on, because you are not going to get a W on inflation right now, and especially gas prices, as Biden is considering, Venezuela to be our next resource, as opposed to, doing it here, because, we are going green, even though we can't go green, even though those of us that can have cars can't plug in our cars on just green. It's whatever. Anyways, Biden came out today and he is doing the impossible when it comes to marijuana. Biden is sometimes when you the word is on the tip of the tongue and the tip of the tongue. Biden is pardoning, dear God, help me, it's Thursday, all prior federal offenses of simple marijuana possession. Biden also urged governors to follow his leads with regards to marijuana possession at the state level. President Biden will pardon all federal offenses of simple marijuana possession, the White House said. This move implies that those convicted of simple possession of marijuana, including those in the District of Columbia, according to senior officials. Biden said in a tweet rampage, and first of all, can we just imagine Joe Biden actually tweeting this much? Absolutely not. Anyways, as Joe Biden says, as I said before, no one should be in jail for using or possessing marijuana. Oh, what about that crime bill? Shut up. Today, I'm taking steps to end our failed approach. Allow me to lay this out. Imagine if they did this approach. Dear God. It's been a long day, people. I work a full-time job and do this for fun. Okay, first, I'm pardoning all prior federal offenses of simple marijuana possession, which I totally agree with. I don't think you should go to jail. I am of the belief that majority of people, yes, I think marijuana is different, but majority of people doing heroin and crack and stuff like that, meth, don't actually want to do it, but they're addicted. And just getting them in the cycle of putting them in jail and using our police forces to hunt down these people that aren't selling the drugs, that's totally different, that are just consuming the drugs mainly because they're freaking addicted and they don't actually want to do it. It's a very abusive cycle. Anybody that knows anything about addictions, like myself, it's something, they're doing it as they don't want to do it. It's an abusive cycle. So the fact that we have an entire police force where I watch a lot of cop shows. I enjoy Live PD and OP Live now. But majority of these cops will pull somebody over and they're like, and then they'll spend 2 hours or an hour going through someone's car to make sure they're not using. And usually it's just a drug addict who failed to update their tags, or maybe their lights are off, and then they get hit with a possession charge, and then some states they go to jail, and sometimes they get a huge ticket. It shouldn't be like that. I'm on the belief that if a cop pulls somebody over and they have meth, that maybe the cop just destroys it for them, and that's it. May that be the only repercussion for doing it. It's totally different when you're a drug dealer, but the only drug dealers that are allowed to deal drugs are drug companies. They're allowed to put out things that, potentially might have horrible side effects, much like the drugs on the street, but it's different because they're professional and they get paid money, and the government says that they're allowed to do it. And he goes on to say, first of all, I'm pardoning all prior federal offenses of simple marijuana possession, which I think is great, but I think he should just go on to the whole thing. There are thousands of people who were previously convicted of simple possession who may be denied employment, which is very true. Housing, it's same with credit scores and stuff like that. Education opportunity as a result. My pardon will remove this burden. Great. Second, again, at this channel, when I agree with something Biden does, I'm going to agree with it. I am not the kind of personality that is so entrenched in my own tribe that I can't see light when it's right in my face. May we get back to a position where we can call our tribe out when they're not being good people, per se, or they're not aligning with what they actually said. See, I'm of the belief that 99% of politicians are just going to lie their way into office, even some of the best ones who we call are the saviors of this country or whatever. Those people will do the exact same thing. They will tickle your ears. And I don't want to be a podcast like that. I don't want to be somebody that's just going to tickle your ear. And may that be so inappropriate that I never do it. Anyways, as we continue. Second, I'm calling on governors to pardon simple marijuana possession offenses. Great. Just as no one should be in a federal prison solely for possessing marijuana or going to January 6th. What did you just say? No one should be in a local jail or state prison for reasons either, or, whatever. Third, we classify marijuana at the same level as heroin, and no more serious than fentanyl. What did I just say? Let's get over. That was like one of those moments we need to rewind that mother effer. Biden says, third, we classify marijuana at the same level as heroin and more serious as fentanyl. That is insane. The idea that we classify marijuana as more serious than fentanyl. This is the hypocrisy and the ridiculousness when it comes to the war on drugs in general. Nobody wants to have this conversation with me as somebody who's worked in the addiction field. Alcohol is way worse. More people are addicted to it, and it ruins lives. In fact, when you try to get off alcohol, you can't just go cold turkey most of the time. You have to be under watch in a freaking hospital. So this idea that, yes, and again, and don't get it twisted. Marijuana is still a drug. It's not water. It's not going to make you more whole. It's not going to make you perfect. And yes, you can still get addicted to any substance, just like you can get addicted to shopping. There are some people that just have an addictive personality, and maybe drugs aren't the answer for you. If you are looking for drugs as the solution to your problems or to ease your pain throughout the day, it will not satisfy you. It will only create more cravings and for something else usually. Because when you have an addictive personality, you're looking for an escape from your reality because life is hard. And a lot of people that develop addictions have very deep and traumatic pasts, and they use it in order to cope for things. And learning how to cope in life is important when we're dealing with life. Life is stressful. Life is hard. And so the fact that we make whole people that are addicted to substances, that we go after them, we put them in jail, we ruin their lives. This isn't helping an addict. This isn't helping someone who's abusing themselves with drugs in order to escape their reality. We are only making things worse. But I continue down the line of what Joe Biden is talking about. I would also like to note that the federal and state regulations change. We will need important limitations on trafficking, marketing, and underage sales of marijuana. Yes, spot on. No child should be doing these things, just like no child should be putting hormones in their body, period. I digress. Then he goes on, sending people to jail for possessing marijuana is upended too many lives for conduct that is legal in many states. That's before you address the clear racial disparities in prosecution and conviction, which we could go into that the whole time, but whatever. Today we begin the right with these wrong. And the Libertarians of New Hampshire, which I love, comes in and says, how about the time you reverse your position that led to thousands of victimless criminals ending up in jail for decades? And then 5 times August says, what about the possessing and smoking crack and meth with a bunch of hookers? Should we go to jail then? What if they filmed it? Okay, this is another part of like conservative or people on the right. Stop focusing on Hunter Biden using drugs and prostitutes and stuff like that. May it be more about his business dealings, or as Washington Post just put out, is that federal agents right now see enough evidence, which is ironic that they're just now seeing enough evidence to charge Hunter Biden with tax and gun purchases crimes. Yes, lying on those forums is no bueno. Agents see enough evidence. They're not going to do it. This will go away, of course, as always. Attorney General Merrick Garland said that the U.S. Attorney in Delaware, a Trump administration holdover, is supervising the case involving President Biden's son, blah, 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 and business dealings. The investigation into Hunter Biden began a year ago and became a central focus for Trump during the unsuccessful 2020 election effort, blah, 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 blah. Okay, are you excited about Biden pardoning? Oh, God. Sometimes when you make these podcasts, life smacks you right in the you-know-what. Offenses of simple marijuana possession. Are you excited about this? Does this freak you out about this? Or do you feel like the world is now going to end? Are you in the belief now, like a lot of people I know that assume that, okay, now this means everyone and their mom's going to be addicted to drugs, as if what we're doing now is more, has been seen to show better results in defeating this war against drugs. It's not working. We're not doing it right. And especially with classifying some of the less harsh drugs like marijuana worse than fentanyl. It's just so silly. And the fact that people's lives get ruined over this kind of stuff is also so dumb and silly. There are better ways to... It's just the same thing with like our homeless population, the drug infestation, the open air drug use that goes on in our major cities. Obviously what we're doing isn't working. By just making them criminals and it just creates a cycle, and it's got to stop. At some point, we need to grow up and realize that, you and I are freaking adults, and that if we want to put something in our bodies, we can just do it. And we will do it. So much so that people will go to the black market to do these things, And it's always like the poor that, in the end, that is the direct result of some of these policies. Like you don't see, Snoop Dogg going to jail for marijuana possession, even though I've been to a concert in a place where it's illegal to smoke marijuana, and he is smoking marijuana and blowing it in cops' faces. I went to a Snoop Dogg show, and he is like, what you gonna do, pig? Nothing. It's always the rich never have to live with the rules that they push for. And the same with these politicians. So, cool. Great move. Should go farther. That's just me. I know everyone assumes that people are just going to all of a sudden be like hooked on marijuana immediately. Are we just like children? We can't handle emotionally regulate ourselves. We can't handle if the government says like you're free to do something, that means you're all of a sudden like if you're all of a sudden gonna go around and just murder a bunch of people. Like it's just, I don't know. Maybe I just assume too much. Maybe I just expect people to grow up a little faster. But do you feel like this is, part of me feels like this is a move that's completely pandering. And I wonder how, if this will actually go into effect and if states will join in the ranks and stuff like that in regards to marijuana in general. But the fact that it's classified as Schedule 1 substance, which is the same as heroin and LSD and fentanyl, is idiotic. It's just dumb. We're supposed to be a serious country. And the fact that there are still people like saying, and you know, I always hear people on the right especially talk about marijuana that says like, you know, it makes you more angry, makes you more agitated. If you smoke too much, you can have psychosis and begin to hallucinate. And I'm like, yeah, you can use so much so that it'll make you that way. Can you think of any other drug that's legal right now that makes you a little crazy when you overdo it? Yeah, I can too. There's like, you can abuse cough syrup and get super high off of. I had friends that were addicted to cough syrup. All right. This idea that once you legalize, it's the people that are going to be addicted to substances are going to be addicted to substances because they're running from something, not because it's legal. Whatever. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. I'm pretty run down today. I'm not going to have a live show tonight. I just can't. I'm just exhausted, and it's just been one of those days, and I apologize. Usually I'm ready to go and geared up, but I'm just exhausted, and I feel like I'm starting to get sick, so I'm going to chill out tonight and hopefully hit the ground running tomorrow. I have a big day tomorrow, but I'm going to continue to put out stories and stuff like that. I hope you guys enjoy your day. I appreciate every single one of you guys, especially the ones that subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you. And have a great day. Now we're all going to be addicted to marijuana. Great. Bye.